Everybody, Nitzan Moser here, the Traveling Investor, and welcome to another week of the Traveling Investor Radio Show, where this is where you're going to learn how to master your mind, body, and wallet. And we're going to talk, and we talk about everything and anything under the sun that's going to help you create your business that will revolve around your lifestyle. You know, so many of us, we're out there and we're working and we're grinding and we're building our businesses and we're working for other people and we're doing everything, but we're taking our lifestyle and we're revolving it around either our business or our work. Here on the Traveling Investor Radio Show, we're going to do a little different spin on it. We're going to show you how to create your business so that it can revolve around your lifestyle. How would you like to be able to have a business that will allow you to travel with your family wherever and whenever you want, have passive income coming into you every month on like clockwork? So this is what we're doing. And one of those things, right, when we're building a business, we have to build a brand. We have to build an identity of who we are. We got to get it out to everyone out there so that they can become familiarized with who we are. For example, how many of us know what that little swoosh on the shoes is, right? That's Nike. That's a brand. The golden arches, McDonald's, right? These things are brands where you can see it globally. Anywhere in the world, you can see the golden arches or that swoop or any of those big, you know, the green lady, that princess, right? Starbucks. Wherever you go on the planet, you can see these brands and you can identify exactly with that company and what they're all about. And that's the same thing that goes for you today in your business, right? You got to build a brand. You got to build an identity. You got to build a following so that people know who you are. They get to know you. They get to trust you. They get to like you. And eventually they will start doing business with you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Today, I've got a fantastic guest for you, okay? Her name is Wendy Paulus, and guess what? She lives in Denver, Colorado, okay? She works as a librarian and a digital marketing assistant. She spent over 10 years helping fledgling real estate companies and nonprofits grow their online businesses using a plethora of free and low-cost tools. That's so awesome, you see, because when you're getting started in business, you don't have a lot of money, right, to spend. So you want to be frugal and know exactly where every dollar goes. And marketing could be a huge expense. And if you can do it practically free and grow your following organically, you're going to be way ahead of everybody else. She's here today to share some industry tips on how you can establish and grow a consistent online brand and voice using little to no overhead capital. How does that sound? Sounds awesome, doesn't it? All right, let's bring on Wendy. Hey, Wendy.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah,
how's it in Colorado right now, in Denver?
It's cold. I was just going to ask you how it is in Florida.
Well, I'm looking out my window and it's blue skies and it's about 75 degrees.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
It was nicer here. It's supposed to be like 63 this weekend, so we're going to go snowboarding, which is always nice, you know, when it's warm and you can snowboard.
That's so awesome. I love that. That's one thing we don't have here in South Florida. We don't have mountains. We got beautiful tropical beaches and palm trees, but you know, no mountains to look at and to enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. I have to live around mountains.
Yeah, that's great. How long have you been living in Colorado?
About 10 years.
Okay, and where'd you move from?
I grew up in Northern Virginia, right outside of DC.
Okay.
But my mom's side of the family is from Colorado. So I made it back out here and I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, Colorado. I love Colorado. I've been out there with the family, you know, hiked the Vail and did some skiing, and it's just a really cool place to visit. And for those of you listening in, if you haven't been to Colorado, definitely make it out there. It's awesome. It's a great place.
That's me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got started in digital marketing. What was the draw? What was the, you know, that connection that you had with it?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of interesting. I grew up in the industry. So my parents, when I was little, they owned a graphic design company. And like when I was really, really little, I remember, playing in the office, and still everyone smoked cigarettes in the office. It was before, I was born in 1986. It was before, everything was really done digitally. And they had, if you needed like clip art or anything, like say you needed to make a logo for a termite company, they had these big books of clip art, you had to go through and make a copy.
Wow.
And they had light boards where my mom would cut out, the articles by hand and have to fit them into, the newspaper format. So yeah, I grew up in the industry. I remember when computers, started becoming more common, and my dad, he bought his first computer for work, and he didn't know how to use it. So to this day, he still uses a mouse upside down because, he just bought, he bought the software and was like, I need to learn how to do this because this is where the industry is going. But when that happened too, my mom, she is not the most tech savvy person. So she started kind of phasing herself out, and she decided to get her real estate license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she became a real estate agent. My dad still owned the company, and he started doing all of her photography, her marketing, her print campaigns, everything for her brand. So she grew her real estate brand really through my dad. So as a family all together, we kind of learned, how to market for real estate agents and brokers. And then in grad school, I started doing real estate photography. And then when they realized the company I was working for, when they realized I knew how to create things, digitally, do graphic design, that I had an eye for it, they promoted me to the marketing director. And so I, really just kind of learned everything on the fly. And since then, I've worked for 3 different real estate companies as a marketing director. And
that's great.
Yeah.
People, a lot of realtors, real estate agents and brokers, they don't understand that a real estate company, a brokerage company, all you really are is a marketing company, and your product is real estate.
Yeah, it's really true. Yeah.
A lot of realtors think that, it's about the real estate. Yeah, it's about the real estate, but it's about marketing. You got to market yourself and who you are and your services and what you can do. The houses, that's just the byproduct, right?
Yeah. And, it's like one thing I'm going to talk about today is it's really important, especially like as a realtor or when you're selling yourself, you have to have a brand, even though you're not selling a product, you are the product. So you have to have a recognizable brand, for people to kind of trust you, they're making a big decision.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
When I talk to my coaching clients, my mentoring clients, right, and anybody else, right, people will do business with you for 3 reasons, right? They know you, like you, and trust you. So what's the first thing they got to do first? First, they got to know you, right? And like you said, back then, the marketing, it wasn't digital. It was all done by hand. There was magazines, it was newspapers. So you'd have to put clip arts and whatnot so that people could recognize you. People could get to know you, right? It's like celebrities, the more you see a celebrity on television, the more you as a person behind the screen get connected to that celebrity. That celebrity or a person doesn't know you. But you feel that connection with them. You're growing that connection, right? And that's kind of what you have to do today, especially with, we're so lucky that we live in a world where, like we're doing now, you're in Colorado, I'm in Florida, and we're talking through social media platforms, and we can reach millions of people globally, and we don't have to leave our homes, our offices, and we can reach all these people, but yet we have to build a brand that gets people to know us and to trust us.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it has its pros and cons because, back in the day, you would get more business if you had more money to, spend on TV spots, print campaigns and things like that. And now, anyone can make a website and, do SEO and be on top of a Google search. You're really competing, if you're a business owner, you're really competing against a much wider scope of businesses.
Yep. So let me ask you, so for people that are starting out, people that are already in business and whatnot, do you need a lot of money to start throwing at your marketing campaign, or can it be done organically? just by going out there and posting and doing things? What do you think?
Yeah, so today, I mean, there's so many things out there that exist, even compared to like 5 or 10 years ago, 5 or 10 years ago, if you needed to create like graphics or a logo or something, you really did have to hire someone. Now there's so many free tools like Canva, websites, Pixlr, that you can just, design your own logo, upload a color scheme, and then they have, templates that you can just drag and drop and create. You can create your own website without knowing how to code. You don't need to know HTML, with products like Wix and Squarespace. Right. Yeah.
So, from my own experience, right, I'm a real estate person, right? I know real estate, I know markets, I know how to evaluate these things. If I start thinking about marketing, it just blows my mind, right? You actually kind of need someone in your team that can do that marketing for you, because that's like its own separate business, its own separate skill set, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like it's easy to get started, but then once you start growing, you do need to have someone that can, because otherwise you're capturing leads, updating your website, posting. So it does get to a point, where you can hire someone. But again, nowadays you don't have to hire a big firm. You can just hire someone who learned, you can read a marketing blog and, learn about fantastic websites that can help you grow your business without, having to hire a big wig and pay, $6,000 a month or something crazy for marketing, or, you don't need TV spots or anything like that anymore. You just need a Facebook page and, a live stream to reach people.
And talking to people, right?
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there. So I know that you put together an awesome presentation for our listeners today, for them to be able to go out and to do marketing and create a digital brand online, with minimal to no cost at all, right? And that's awesome. So do you want to start talking about that? Do you want to go through that a little bit for our listeners and show them and give a little presentation on how they can do it and build their online digital brand?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I did put together a little presentation. I'm a librarian, so I'm a big dork and a bad public speaker. So I wanted, to have something that I can work off of. And also, if you want to drop your email in the comment section, at any point, or go to Nitzan's website or email success@traveling-investor.com. I can send out a PDF of this because it does have a lot of different links that you can access.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I just put together a little presentation, 5 easy steps to build your digital brand. And the goal is to build a meaningful, recognizable, and successful online brand. And you want to do it cheaply. So, and we talked about this a little, trust, brand consistency. What that's going to bring you is trust. Everyone says consistency is key. You want to be recognizable. And like you were saying, Nitzan, you want people to feel like they know you and trust you and want to give you their business. So having a consistent brand, a color scheme, a logo, like catchphrases that they can see over and over again, that makes you seem more reputable to customers. And you're going to be much more likely to gain trust in people's business if you have a consistent brand. So step 1, and I know that you're a big proponent of this, Nitzan, because we've talked about this, that, you always research your competition and, see what they're doing. But yeah, sorry, what?
Absolutely. See what the competition is doing, right?
Yeah.
And don't copy them, but if something that they are doing works, you kind of want to implement that strategy as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I laid out here. Whether you're, it's real estate or anything, you want to Google your product and service category just to see what comes up. Because the first couple of hits you're going to get on Google, those people are paying good money to get up that high on Google. So they're doing something right, Another place that I like to go is Reddit. A lot of people don't think to check out Reddit, but Reddit, and I can just show you here really quick. Reddit has awesome subreddits that people are really knowledgeable and, talk about products and things that they like. So like, even if you just go on Reddit and search multifamily, so like for you, Nitzan.
So what is Reddit? Explain what Reddit is.
Reddit's just kind of they call it the front page of the internet, but
Okay.
it's just where, there's just different subreddits and news stories. You can find information about anything. It's kind of like an online community where people can share news stories, facts. There's a subreddit for anything, like cats in tuxedos. But just a quick search on multifamily, so you can see there's all these like investing groups, and there's people do give proposals. You can find just anything on Reddit. So like Canva tips or marketing tips. You can search anything on Reddit, and that comes back with a lot of really good results that
Can you search Yoda?
Yeah. Let me bring it back. Yoda,
Master Yoda, right? You know his famous saying, right?
Yeah.
Do or do not. There is no try. That's why I have him here, because in business you got to do, right? In life you got to do. There is no trying.
Yeah. Let's see. Yoda.
There he is.
So there's a bunch of Yoda subreddits, and then how to make a baby Yoda cake.
There you
Yoda
go.
is small. Baby Appa is way cuter than baby Yoda. And you can see like there's 204 comments. So it's just a place where you can go to get a lot of people's like input and how they feel about things. You can get a feel for what people are talking about and how they feel about certain subjects. So that's a really good way to, see what people's thoughts are without going and polling or just
good place
reading.
to research your topic, basically,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And then just talking to people, like if you're a real estate agent, ask someone that recently sold or bought a house, why did you pick your agent? What were you looking for in an agent? Look at websites and social media accounts of your competitors. Like I say here, don't reinvent the wheel, see what people are doing, because it's obviously working for them, and see how you can change that and brand that, put that into your own brand and make it work for you.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. And then, another big thing is that I like to recommend is going through, like, for example, with real estate, say you want to buy a house, go through the actual steps that you would as if you were purchasing a house, Like if you wanted to find a real estate agent, what would you type? Like real estate agent Tampa, or, some vegan friendly realtor, there's, what things that matter to you. And don't reinvent the wheel. So research is definitely the first step before you make any kind of decisions on how to brand your business.
Yeah, I'm a very big believer of not reinventing the wheel. And as you know, right? And I always look at other people, other syndicators, other promoters. What are they doing? I'm always looking at Gary Vee, Russell Brunson. What are these guys doing? How are they promoting their products, right? What kind of videos are they putting out there? And again, I'm not copying word for word what they're doing, or even their formats. I'm taking what they're doing and I'm saying, wow, that's a great concept. Let's use that concept, right?
Yeah.
My expertise, like I said, is real estate. It's not marketing. It's not digital marketing. It's not any of that. So let me see what they're doing. They're successful, and if it's working for them, let's use that concept for us and just add in the details of what we're doing.
Yeah, and I mean that's what everyone does. That's like, that's the common. Taking something and just kind of putting your own spin on it. Unless you have a truly brand new idea, that's what business is.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all it is.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. And then next, find your focus. And I'll let you talk about, like your brand. When you start out, it can't be everything to everyone. So, you really need to kind of have a focus or like a specialty when you're starting out until you grow. And then you can, boost up your marketing to be tailored to different kind of audiences. But I'll have you talk about creating an avatar, because I know that's something you use in your business a lot, right?
Oh, absolutely. 10 years ago when I started, in multifamily buying and raising capital and whatnot. My mentor was telling me, go to 2 networking events a week and just get business cards and build relationships with people and blah, 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 blah. So I did that. I was a networking fiend. I even got my wife to go out and to network for me at different events, right? Who wants to talk to this, right? She's like you. She's beautiful, blonde hair, blue eyes, People want to talk to her. They don't want to talk to me. So I would send her out networking, and I got a box of like 5,000 business cards. And over the years, not one of those people had invested with me. And what I found was that I was being too generalized at my networking. I was just going out there and talking to everybody and anybody. But what I found was that when you become really specific, when you create your avatars of who exactly do I want to meet? What does that person look like? How old are they? Male, female? What is their occupation? Why do they work? Why do they do what they do? What are their goals? What are their fears, passions, desires? Do they have kids? All of these things, write it down specifically. And now you've got your avatar of the exact person that you want to target. And then you can take your online marketing, like what you're talking about, and really direct it to that person. Zig Ziglar had a great saying. He goes, do you want to be a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? And for many years, I was just a wandering generality. I was walking around, talking to everyone and about everything. And then when I started really getting very narrow and laser focused on who I wanted to meet and what was the goal for meeting them and what I wanted from them, my business transformed. My marketing transformed as well, because now I was targeting specific people. And a lot of people may ask, well, if I'm targeting 1 or 2 specific people, what happens to everybody else around, right? What happens to the people that aren't that avatar? Well, when we're throwing out a big net to generalize, marketing, you're not really talking to anybody, so you're not getting anybody. But when the marketing is focused on a specific person, right, for a specific reason, then you're targeting that person. Other people listening to that now are going, wow, that is a pretty targeted message, right? So if let's say you're talking to someone who's in their 50s and they're looking to retire soon, but they need, monthly passive income. So you're talking to them about, hey, in the future, you could live your life and have passive income coming in every single month without going to work. So that's a specific person you're talking to, and that message is specific to them. However, when somebody else listens to it, they hear that specific message and it kind of attracts them as well. So you're not missing out on them. You're just being very, very specific on that. So creating your avatar is super important, right?
Yeah.
Look at McDonald's, look at Nike, look at all the car companies. They talk to specific people, right? Specific wage brackets, and living in specific locations with certain amount of family members and, all of that, right? So we got to look at these companies that are spending millions of dollars on marketing and follow exactly what they're doing. So they're creating avatars and, the different car companies, they're selling, this car to that group, this car to that group, this car to that group, right? And it's just a niche avatar of a person. So I highly recommend that you find your avatars and just start marketing to them. It'll transform your business immediately.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and it brings in other people. Maybe you're not 50, but I'm 35, and if I see something that's like, hey, retire early, retire when you're 50 and sail the world, I'm like, yeah, I want that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think another important thing to do is write a positioning statement. And this just kind of helps you fill in the blanks, to really target, to nail down like a message. So I gave an example of what a positioning statement is here. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of filled in the message for water bottles. So, okay. A positioning statement, we offer this product or service to this target market to value proposition, for this reason. Unlike someone else, we do this differently. So my example was, we offer water bottles for hikers, target market, to stay hydrated while reducing their carbon footprint. Unlike the other water bottle brands, we plant a tree for every bottle sold. So
That's right.
yeah, I think a positioning statement is a really good way, especially the part with the key differentiator. You know, that your message that makes you different from other companies. So I would write your positioning statement and stick it right above your laptop or on your mirror, so you have that elevator speech down where you can say, this is how I'm different from that person. This is why I should earn your business, as opposed to this person.
Absolutely. It's funny you said that, because when I was, my mentor was talking about, your elevator pitch, right? So for years, my elevator, people ask, so what do you do? Oh, I buy real estate, commercial real estate. I get people to fund and blah, 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 blah. And it was just so long-winded, and it was very, very boring, right? And I've kind of changed it now, and to where it goes something like, so what do you do, Nitzan? I said, well, I help people create passive income so that they can go out and do whatever it is they're passionate about.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not exactly that positioning, but it's like an elevator pitch, but it doesn't talk anything about real estate, right? It's something that really shows what you're doing, and I love what you got here, right? I love the part, like, unlike other water bottle brands, we plant a tree for every bottle sold. That kind of just nails it for people and says, well, I want to do business with you.
Yeah. And exactly. I think, a water bottle is a water bottle. Like, a real estate company is a real estate company. But if you're leading with, I can, teach you how to create passive income. Yeah, I want passive income. Like, I don't care really who's giving it to me. Cool, you buy and sell real estate, but passive income, like, okay, tell me more.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So really, just having something that, you need to have just in your elevator speech, something that shows how you're different from the competitors. And then another thing that I'm big on is kind of visualizing your brand as a person, because it's important to have a voice, your brand, where your website is going to be written in a certain voice. All of your social media posts are going to be written in a certain voice. So kind of envisioning your brand as a person, and then choosing 3 to 5 words to describe him or her or they, if you're whatever sex or, your brand is, and then use that, keep that vibe consistent when you're talking about your brand. And I gave some examples, beautiful, silly, affordable, luxurious, because, you're gonna talk about, if your brand is affordability, you're going to use different words than you're going to use if, you're a luxury brand.
Sure.
So just, keeping kind of a little Post-it note with the words that you want your brand to really make people feel. Yeah. And the thesaurus is your friend. Say you're starting a luxury brand, type in luxury in the thesaurus and use all those words,
Absolutely.
To really just stay on brand and keep your voice within your brand. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to go to the next screen. And then this is my favorite part, picking your name and your slogan. And it's, the biggest commitment that you're going to have to make. And recently I had a friend that started a business, and he ended up having, like, after a year of being in business, there was a copyright infringement on his name, and he had to completely rebrand. And, it's really hard to start from scratch. So, and I'm not going to give any legal advice about that, but, you definitely, before you pick your name, you want to explore all the avenues to make sure that you have everything locked down and this name is yours. And then another thing is to keep your name broad, because if you're going to expand, say, like, Nitzan, right now you're doing, multifamily homes, traveling investor. Say, you want to do like a lot of things could fit under the traveling investor umbrella. But if you start out with a name that's super specific, like peanut butter tacos, like you can only really make peanut butter tacos. So,
right. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. So, you're talking about pick your name and for the brand. So, I've been juggling, with the traveling investor versus my name, right? So, like Tony Robbins, for example, we all know Tony Robbins. He uses his name. His name is his slogan, is his brand, and whatnot, right? What do you think of that, of using your name and building your name as the brand versus actually like the traveling investor?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it gets to a point when you're big enough that you can use your name, like Tony Robbins. And with you, you kind of do have two different facets, like of your company. You have the investing side, but you also have the coaching side, So, yeah, I guess, I mean, the goal is for everyone to use their name, but, you need to build your brand up to the point where you can get there and, someone can say Nitzan Mosery and I could know, oh, he does this, like if you say
Right.
Tony Robbins, I know what he does, but traveling investor, that covers, what you do.
Yeah, it's cool. I was at a couple of conferences and people came up to me going, "Hey, are you the traveling investor?"
That's
That was
awesome.
pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Nitzan Mosery, the traveling investor,
Right.
and
Yeah.
go back and forth. But yeah, it's good to keep your name broad, and if you're using your actual name, that's about as broad as it can get. So you can really do anything that you want.
Right.
And then I like to play around with these. These may not be the best thing, but I feel like these tools can get your creative juices flowing. So there's a name generator tool that I'm going to show you. So these are just fun. I really like the Slogan one as well. But so say I'm starting a business around tofu. Okay. And I don't know what to call my tofu company. Wendy's tofu, and I don't know. So you can there's free things like this all over the internet, but a business name generator, I'm going to generate. So right off the bat, Tofuzilla, that's kind of cool. I mean, tofu cool, tofu edgy, tofu cult. Some of them are lame or silly, but I feel like it's a good tool just to get you thinking outside. Yeah. Like Tofu Works. I could see that. I could buy tofu called Tofu Works.
Right.
Yeah. Tofu Vio. Tofu Elixir.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So just things you kind of get, the juices flowing. And then there's a slogan maker tool too. That's really fun. So let's see. Tofu. We're going to stick with tofu. Tofu kicks ass. Tofu, the secret of women. These are silly, but it's going to help you think outside the box and put different words and phrases together. Stop! This tofu is not ready yet.
That's great.
Yeah, this one's good. Tofu your way. That's a good slogan. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of people do hire companies, to come up with a logo and a brand and a slogan and everything. But it's really something you can do on your own if you just think outside the box, ask people for input, but use these generators that make you, think about the product a different way. And then also, you also want to check the domain. So, say what was that one? Tofu something, Tofuzilla. If I wanted to start Tofuzilla, you want to make sure that tofuzilla.com is available. So that's a really important step that you need to take before branding your business, and that it's available in a .com ending, Recently, I had someone email me, or I was speaking with someone, and their domain name ended in .us. And I tried to email them and, was putting their domain name with .com, and the emails kept bouncing back. So you want, even if you have other endings on your email or your domain, you want to make sure that you own the .com, because that's what people are used to. So that's an important fact to take into consideration.
Right. Yeah. That .com is huge.
Yeah. All right. Step 4 is designing your look.
Oh, yes. Designing the look.
Yes. I love graphic design.
This is important. This is like, it's huge, right?
Yeah. And I added for you guys a little color emotion guide. This is a nice little tool to have, when you're just like thinking about colors to start off with. Different colors do convey different messages to consumers. So like here, the yellow is optimism, clarity, warmth, friendly, excitement, creative, trust, peaceful, balance, So like say if I'm starting like a Zen yoga company, I probably wouldn't do a bunch of screaming like reds in it, if it's like supposed to be a Zen meditative yoga place. So, and you can see the little icons down here, and they give a lot of examples, of companies that do use those color schemes. So I always find this color emotion guide interesting.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And then you can create your logo for free, and it's so easy. And I cannot say enough good things about Canva. I know you use Canva, Nitzan. I use Canva all the time, and it's so easy to use Canva here. I can just pull it up really quick to create a logo. Let's see. And here's your Canva, actually. But Canva is so cool. See, you can just go into logo, say this, I want to start Tofuzilla. But did it say tofu your way?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I have, or I could say, made in Colorado, and that's why it has mountains. But there you go. You have a logo and you have a color scheme, and this can be put everywhere, and it's completely free.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Canva's great. And, they have presentations. You can make Instagram stories, and, they can cater everything to the logo that if you make it in Canva, you can just pop it into Facebook covers, animations, cards, and it's completely free. Canva is like the best tool you can have in your graphic design arsenal. Fiverr Logo Maker is another good one as well. I prefer Canva, but this one, they have a little bit more like say you need like a gorilla holding, they have more like detailed look, like if I was a CrossFit company and I wanted like a animal, they have a really good pictorial graphics in there that you can use. You can also hire someone. I mean, like we've been talking about, you don't need to spend $3,000 for someone to create a brand for you. You can get a logo made for you for $19 by using an online site like Ligura, or you can ask like your kid, if you have a teenager, say, hey, go on Canva and make me a logo. You know how to use computers way better than I do.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Like I'm sure, like ask your daughters for like TikTok advice.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like, no, Daddy, this is this is much better than this, and you got to do like this, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Like the younger generation using things like this is very intuitive to them. So just ask someone for help. Don't hire someone.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you do, hire someone cheap, because it doesn't make a difference now with all the, no one's creating vectors and using Adobe Illustrator and drawing anything anymore. Everything is just pre-made and you slap your name on it.
Easy.
But, easy peasy. So, and then
so when you're designing your look, what should the look convey? What, is there a specific way people should be looking at it? Like for example, I have my logo on the top right of the screen, right? So traveling investor, right? So we've got a combination of different things, right? So we've got the globe with the mountains, right? So that's like traveling, right? And when my wife actually made the logo for me, right? So I told her I wanted an arrow or something pointing from the bottom left going to the top right. So she made the arrow going, traveling, and then those 3 columns on top are supposed to be like buildings, right? That's why they're going up, and also up on the right. So there's a lot of symbolism in that, right? Psychological, subconscious things.
Yeah.
Should logos represent things of that nature? Talk about the actual design of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the color emotion guide is a good way to start. So just even looking at your logo, you have like purple and blue. So it's kind of, conveying with the emotion guide, creativity, imagination, wise, trust. Is blue is a, supposed to convey trust, dependable, strength. So those are really things that you want to have, if you're trying to get people to invest with you. You want people to trust you. You want people to think that you're wise and strong and dependable. I think it really depends on your business. If you want like an exciting, if you're opening a roller skating rink, you want like reds and yellows or rainbows. It really depends on the feeling that you're trying to convey. If it's a luxury brand, you want something that looks high end. If it's a kids brand, you can use, fonts that are more like handwriting-y fonts. And I didn't go into fonts. That's a whole new beast on its own that we can talk about at some time, how different kinds of fonts serifs, sans serifs, and everything can convey
Right.
different types of feelings for the consumers. But color wise, I think this little chart is the, oh, here's my cat. Go away. Is kind of the Bible, for
So when someone's looking to start creating their design, right? What would the process be in their mind, right? They should ask themselves, okay, what do I want to convey, right? What does my logo want to convey? What am I looking to share with people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And then like within Canva, with a logo, they have a pretty good search feature. Like say that you want to have like house in your design. You can type like house logo, and they'll show you different things. Or you want to have a rainbow, or you're opening a yoga studio. You can type like Zen logos, and it will give you logos that someone has keyworded and predetermined. These designers who work for Canva, who are amazing, better than anything that we could ever do, have put together, for that kind of feeling and vibe. So definitely within these free tools, the search features are great. So utilize those. Like if you want an airplane, type in logo airplane, or if you want like a Facebook cover photo, airplane, and it's going to show you. You're going to come up with a lot of cool things.
Awesome.
It's very easy. And let's see, step 5. And I'll let you talk about this one because I know that you have your whole story down for the traveling investor, right? You got like the pitch. So you talk about this one, about writing your business's story.
So the story, right? So what motivated you to start your business, right? What, you got it here. Why does my company exist? Why do we contribute to the world? This is perfect, right? What is the story behind my business and that the customer should know? It's all about first, kind of figuring out why am I doing what I'm doing, right? What's my purpose behind it, right? How do I want to leave the planet once I'm gone? Your story is what's going to connect you with people, right? Because like when we were talking about earlier, realtors, for example, real estate agents, right? They're all about marketing, right? The product is selling a house. Anybody can sell a house, right? Here's a house, 4 walls. It's got the door. It's got the the garage. It's on the water. It's in an apartment. Right, that's easy, but people want to work with someone that they can connect with, right? That they understand that you're also a human being, right? You're not just this machine that is going to just take them and put them through a process of, here, fill out an application, here's this, here's that, okay, sign here, sign. They want to know that they're, especially today with the digital world being the way it is, people really want to connect with other people so that they know that they're being heard and that they're being understood. And your story of why you're doing it, where you come from, the battles that you've overcome, the challenges that you've overcome to get to where you are, really builds that trust factor, right? When you're talking to people, right? Or when they're looking at you, especially, with social media, right? We're putting out there all these posts and these things. And what's the reason behind it? The reason behind it is so that the person on the other side, on their phone or on their computer, is looking at your ad or your story or your meme and is going, yeah, man, that resonates with me. That person's story resonates with me, right? That's why I like to also post a lot about my travels, about my family, because I want to show people that, I'm not just there to make money. I'm here to build a life for my family. I'm a family man. I'm a friend. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I like to do things because this is what's going to connect you to people, and people will then do business with you. People will do business with me because they see me skiing on a slope or because they see me hiking with my kids. They're like, you know what? I love hiking. This guy likes to hike. You know what? I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna invest with him, just because they saw my story, right? And when you have a bigger why than, well, you know what? I built this company just to make money. Well, you know what? I don't care about you making money. What's your reason behind it, right? What's the goal? Why are you there? Because there's so many realtors out there. There's so many real estate investors. There's so many whatever. Why you? and your story will compel people to be attracted to you and to do business with you, right? And that's why I think having your story, having your why, doing all that is really important, and it's part of my, my GPA system that I put together, right? GPA stands for, goals, purpose, and action, right? So you got to have your goals, right? And then you got to have a system of how to achieve your goals, because just having goals is great. I want to make $1 million, but what are my steps? What's the process? What are the tools that I need to do, right? Then the purpose, why? Why do I want to go out there and build this company? Why do I want to do what I'm doing? Because when you're out there trying to make $1 million, there's going to be a lot of obstacles that are going to knock you down, a lot of people that are going to laugh at you, a lot of naysayers, right? And your purpose, your why, when it's strong enough, is going to motivate you and give you that energy and that passion and the desire to keep moving, although the entire world is kind of pushing against you. And then you got to take action. So, your story will help you take massive action, will help you get motivated, and will give a great story on why people should buy your product or do business with you. That's kind of why you should write your story.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. Yeah, findings, people, if you're a human being that people can relate to, they're much more likely to give you business rather than just being like a faceless entity. At this point with this, everyone, everything plays at your heartstrings, with kitten videos on Facebook. You really need to make that connection, because there's so many, just personal things floating out there around on the internet.
Sure. Yeah. And it's like what we talked about earlier with the avatars. You got to take a stand. It doesn't matter what your stand is, right? You're a meat eater, you're a vegan. It doesn't make a difference what it is, right? So people, if you're a vegan, right? And people will come at you and say, oh, well, we've been eating animals since the beginning of time, and you're blah, 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 blah. That's okay. And the reason why it's okay is because you're making a stand. You're going to have people that agree with you, and you're going to have people that disagree with you. Mm-hmm. But the point is, people are commenting. People are engaging, right? And again, that goes back to what Zig Ziglar said, a wandering generality or a meaningful specific. When you're just out there and just, being a wandering generality, nobody's really going to take notice of you. Mm-hmm. But when you put your feet down and you make a stand, and it doesn't matter what your stand is, but you take a stance for something and you go wholeheartedly into it, and you create your story and you create your image and your avatars and everything, and now you're here, you'll get people, you'll get engagement from both sides, people that will not like you and people that will like you. I don't know if you've ever heard of Howard Stern, the radio show guy, right? How many people call him? He said more people call him and more people listen to him that hate him than like him.
Yeah.
Think about that, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
He was baffled by it. He goes, more people listen to me that don't like what I have to say, but they're listening to me because when they're listening to me, they get to yell at me and they get to curse at me and all this. But other people that listen to, I know how it's done. He thinks like me. I don't have to listen to him.
Yeah.
So make your stand, right? Write your story, right?
Yeah.
Get people to connect with it or get people to not connect with it, but your story will get you engaged with other people.
Yeah. Like just having, one thing that stands out that makes you different for sure. Like, for example, I have a pet pig, and like, even if I wanted to have a different story and no one, I'm Wendy who has a pig, like that's how people know me. I'm like, I can do all these different things, but no,
That's right.
But yeah. People do something that makes you memorable to people for sure.
Absolutely.
And if you write your own story, you can control that rather than just something happening and everyone knowing you for that thing. That thing might not be the best.
Mm-hmm. Right. So those are great 5 steps for people to start. Can we just really quickly review them once again? Just touch on each step so that people can hear what the steps are. Yeah. So the first step is researching, right? Go out and research your product, right? You got Reddit and all that. Then find your focus, right? Creating the avatar, the niche, right? Using the associative words, writing the positioning statement. I really like that positioning statement. We need to work on our positioning statement, right? The thesaurus is your friend. Then pick your name, slogan, right? Check out the name generator tools. Get the juices rolling and working to pick out a name for your company, for your brand, right? Figure out what your message is, what you want to tell people from that, right?
And keeping it broad so you can expand your business.
Right. Yeah. And then the design look. This color emotion guide is fantastic, right? And today, like you said, Canva, great place to go. Very easy for people who, if you don't know where to start, if you don't know what, design, I don't have a lot of money, just like you said, go to Canva. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. And they're not paying us to say that.
No, they're not. I wish they would. I love Canva. Canva, call me.
And then step 5 is writing your story, right? What motivated me to start my business, right? What was my why? Why does my company exist, right? How do we contribute to the world, right? A lot of companies, there's a sock company, socks. They make socks. And they say that, for every pair of socks that are being sold, another pair is being donated. And they've donated like 10 million socks to homeless people. Mm-hmm. Right? That's how they contribute to the world. Mm-hmm. And because of that, people will just buy from them because of what they're contributing, right? They don't care about, all that other stuff, but like, wow, if I buy 3 pairs of socks, that means that 3 pairs of socks get donated to homeless people. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll buy it, right? How is your company contributing? A lot of companies, say, we donate 10% of our profits to charities and nonprofit organizations. That's awesome. How do you contribute to the world, right? Mm-hmm. And especially today, we have all these, social justice companies and, all these companies that are out there trying to save the planet, save the animals, right? All these different companies that have a mission other than just making money. Right? Back in the 60s and the 50s, it was all about making money. Now it's about what's your position in the world? What are you doing? How are you bettering society and the planet? And then what is the story behind my business that customers should know? That's awesome, man. These questions are really important for anybody that's starting out, anybody that's in business now, to really answer these questions. And when you have a solid answer to these questions, you can kind of also start writing your story and creating your brand around that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, because, the market, it's so easy to start a business these days. The market is really saturated with products and, people trying to sell themselves or their product. You really do need to have, a story that stands out and, kind of show that you can, if you support my business, I do this, contribute to something or at least back a charity or have a stance on something that people can connect to. Otherwise, you're just another faceless entity that wants money. And then I did add something. Let me, I'm going to type in an email address here and put it on the screen. Let's see if this works. Cool. Awesome. So I did add a little bit of bonuses at the end. And if you send us an email, we can email you this presentation that has all of the links, so you can have all of this information. We'll send it in a PDF. But I did do next steps. After you've created your brand, you want to set up your website and domain. Here are some free or low-cost solutions that you can do that without having to know how to code or anything. You want to create your social media accounts. Use Canva. Because you can put your logo just in Facebook posts, Instagram posts. They have templates for everything. And then Hootsuite is another tool you can use that you can just post once on Hootsuite and it will go out to all of your social media avenues.
Awesome. Hootsuite.
You've used that, right?
Yeah,
we use that. It's free too. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. Networking. Here's some places you can get started, networking with people for free. Email marketing campaigns, the emails that you get from companies, you can set those up for free with things like MailChimp or Sendinblue. ActiveCampaign does cost money, but it's, a lot cheaper and easier than trying to do it by hand or hiring someone. And then I'm a big advocate of blogging. If you have a blog where you can show that, show how you're an expert in the field, it just builds that trust and it shows people that you're knowledgeable and you know what you're talking about. So blogging is a really, really useful tool. And then sharing your blog in meetup groups, in Facebook groups, on LinkedIn. that's going to be a good way to, really build trust with your company.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting featured on podcasts. Matchmaker.fm is a really cool website where you can put a profile and you can reach out to podcasts that you could search them by keywords, real estate, and it will give you a list of real estate podcasts. And this is all free, where you can contact the person and say, hey, I'd like to come on and talk about my brand, my company. Like, can I be a guest on your podcast? And the first time I started using it, I booked probably like 25 shows and people to come on different shows. It's all completely free. It's one of the coolest tools that you can have in your toolkit for, building your own brand and marketing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I added this marketing funnel, which is just, something if you want a copy of this, you can just, put that out and take a look at this. It kind of just shows where everything in your marketing toolkit fits in, building awareness, interest, consideration, intent, evaluation, and then finally the purchase. But it shows, and there's a whole website that I didn't create it, but it's a really useful tool. I would recommend that everyone read this. And then I just put some recommended reading of my own, some blogs that have really good tips about marketing yourself online, digitally, and, online marketing, ideas and features and what's popular, what's outdated. And then this book is really awesome. Just for getting started, it talks about just the ins and outs of all social marketing. If you don't know anything, even if you do know things, I recently reread it and I learned a lot of new things. So shoot us an email at success@travelinginvestor.com and I can get this presentation out to you and you can get started on your own with your own marketing stuff.
Wow. There's a lot of information, Wendy. Thank you so much, man. This is fantastic. This has been amazing. Anybody that's been listening that sees this is going to have a really good, strong base from where to start on creating their online branding, where to go and how to do it, and really wrapping their head around the whole online branding, digital branding, and moving their business in the right direction. Thank you so much for being here. We have, about 3 minutes left. And then I got to get on another conference call. So but thanks so much for being here. Guys listening in, shoot us an email at success@traveling-investor.com and we'll send you out this entire presentation so that you can have it with the links and you can listen to this over and over again. It's going to be uploaded onto our YouTube channel, right? Traveling Investor YouTube channel. So, feel free to go there, like, subscribe, share. Do what you got to do, give us some love and, we'll see you guys soon. Is there another slide that we have coming up after this?
Yeah. Let me see.
Because we're offering also in March, we're doing a buy one, get one, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, all these athletes, right? They've all had skills and talents and whatnot, but it's been the coach that has been able to tweak them and to make them superstars, right? So if you're in real estate, if you're starting out your business and whatnot, having a mentor, having a coach that can help you, that can take you step by step from where you are and where you want to go is crucial to, cutting your learning curve, right? Taking it down a lot. I've had mentors. I still have mentors and coaches, and they've been phenomenal. So what we're doing is for the month of March, you can go in and I have my coaching calls, which are every Friday at 2:00. They're about a half hour long, where you can ask questions, hear other questions that people ask. I talk about different things, and it's every Friday, and it's $36 a month. But now, if you sign up for March, you can get April for free as well. So it's buy one, get one, right? So it comes out to like $4 for a half hour. And the information that you get on these 30-minute calls are life-changing, and they could literally make you millions of dollars. So for $4, it's almost, it's ridiculous how cheap it is, right? Next week, March 11th at 3:00, we have Charles Seaman. Charles Seaman started out in real estate, buying apartment complexes. We worked together. He's been going out there and he's killing it. So we're going to talk to him about where he was, how he got started, and what his steps were to being successful and creating passive income for himself and his entire team. I also have my perfect money raising system. It's only $7. $7, and you're going to get my perfect money raising system. You're going to get my GPA system. You're going to get my mind map. I mind mapped out the entire process from beginning to end. What exactly every step of the way of how to buy an apartment complex, from putting under contract, doing the due diligence, when to talk to the investors, when to engage your lenders, your sponsors, what to do, everything step by step. And on top of that, you're going to get my broker script, how to talk to brokers so that you don't sound like you're a newbie, right? You want to talk to brokers in a way that they know that you understand what you're doing so they can send you their best deals. All that's for $7, right? And we're also doing a 6 weeks to success course, right? That's coming out as well. So if you want more information about any of this, shoot us an email at success@traveling-investor.com. Be here next week. Wendy, it was awesome. I learned a lot. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be one of the modules too on your 6 weeks to success course, talking more in depth about marketing. So I'll be back.
We're going to go really in depth with Wendy, and she's going to break it out, all those 5 steps, and really show you how to create your online brand, your digital marketing, all of that. It's going to be part of the 6-week course. So, be one of the first ones, because we don't know how long it's going to be open for, especially the BOGO. Don't know how long it's going to be there. And the $7 money raising system, I don't really know how long we're going to keep that open, right? And also, I'm offering a 30-day money back guarantee for the $7 money raising system. So for any reason within 30 days you don't like it, I'll give you your $7 back, because it's not about the $7. It's about you going out, being able to build your business around the lifestyle that you want, creating passive residual income so that you can live life on your terms. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. All right, Wendy, thanks again for being on the show.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Yep, it's been awesome. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.